truth and the absolute laws of nature, for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power, peace and power. Salute, salute. What's going on? What's good? Well, you know, being one who has been involved, influenced, and elevated by what we know as hip hop and the hip hop culture, and having early on been raised in an Islamic family, you know that I'm not going to let certain things pass by. Peace, 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 divine, peace, almighty. I'm not going to allow it, right? This particular song and video and visual, from the very moment I watched it, I was taken aback by it. Taken aback by it for several reasons. For several reasons. Now, as one who practices our Islam, right? Coming from the space of being raised as an African in America, and early on coming up with my name, right? My name being Karim. Now, the story behind my name and why it's pronounced different ways by different people is something that was in the family. My father, coming from where he came from, and I tell you all this and told you all this numerous times, coming from a Baptist Christian upbringing, to becoming a teenager and saying that that was nothing that he believed in, chose or was blessed to come across the almighty nation of gods and earths, and being part of that initial firstborn generation of gods and earths, transitioning to Orthodox Islam, right, which is Sunni Islam, and then again moving to the Nation of Islam for its discipline, I had no choice but to come up and learn and to be birthed in a situation and conditions that were Islamic. And in that sense, having to go in the outside world, which wasn't embracing of our Islam, it was deemed radical. People didn't understand it. And I'm talking about in the early 70s. There was nothing there. Oh, he's going to be on there. Don't worry about it. There was nothing there to encourage growth and nurture African American practicing the Islamic faith. Just wasn't. So it was hardships along that. Even to this day, you are forced to respect holidays and traditions. The whole city shuts down. The whole country shuts down for traditions, holidays, and acknowledgments of religions outside of you. Only now are you even acknowledged through Ramadan and just being a Muslim. It was very, very, very hard coming up in that. So being born and being named, my father named me Karim, so my name is spelled with an accent. My mother, who was very radical and more progressive with her and her ilk, since she had a whole bunch of female friends who all had daughters, and I was the only son amongst them. I was the only man amongst them. They all took claim of me and named me Karim. That's how they decided to pronounce it. And since I was always around them, that's what kind of stuck through the years. That's what just stuck. Karim, as opposed to being raised in Karim, right? So I'm not speaking from a place where I have no knowledge of the rights and the wrongs. Let me get that out of the way. My further growth and understanding of what Quran is, what Hadith and Sunnah is, what everyday fiqh is as an adult, after taking several shahadas, right? Was born, my father's imam whispered the shahada in my ear while I was born. My father whispered in my ear. I took my first Ramadan at 10 years old, right? And again, another shahada behind bars where I was performing as sutra for the community, right? So I've read continuously the Quran, Kitab, several times. Different translations, all of it. And in that, keep it under cap. Now, as an adult, do I blindly believe everything in it as I once did? No. No. There's several things who me as a growing entity have questions about. So in order not to be a hypocrite, I move in a different manner. And also acknowledging the fact that there are entities that are not welcoming to people who do not speak in an Arabic tongue in specific communities. There's racism, there's a lot of things, there's sexism, there's a lot that goes on within these communities that stagnate our growth in this oppressive condition, which is the American corporation. So I am very versed in it. I will not sit in spaces and continuously spit that out. But I know what's what. As I said, I follow every doctrine because as a soldier, as one who seeks to liberate myself, and in doing that, liberate my people, I have to absorb specific information, doctrines, beliefs, see how people manifest it, move in and out of it. And in saying that, when I came across this song last week, I wanted to build on it last week. And of course, during the work and the hecticness of the pace, I didn't get a chance to. So I'm addressing this right now. So it's a song that Swizz Beatz is featured on and produced with a kid named Skinny in French Montana. From the first initial vocal, you hear him, Swizz Beatz, head rap, culturally appropriating the dress of Muslims globally. I already took issue with it. First thing out of his mouth was a salam alaikum, singing it. Now, offhand, I already knew from being around certain individuals saying to me, while I was in a certain space and calling the Adhan, and excuse me if you don't understand certain language and terminology, because this is specifically geared for Muslims and Muslim sons. You understand? So in calling the Adhan, I was checked many times if I slipped and put a longer extension on an accent or was over enthusiastic about calling it. So when it sounds as if you're singing, they was checking me immediately. Nah, brother, that's haram. It's not permissible. So I knew that. I'm talking about, I was checked on that from early 90s as an adult. And the more you get around brothers who are very astute in Arabic, in the language, they would always check you, pull your coat up. So the first words of it was troubling. So I'm like, looking, I'm saying, this is a hip hop producer who have made several beats and has songs with very negative context over time. So I'm already alerted to it. It's calling salam alaikum, right? Peace be upon you. So now I gotta be waiting for the verses. Because if you're saying that with a heavy hip hop beat and the visuals was already alarming, a lot of materialism in the clothing, I'm watching high priced vehicle, all that. So here comes the kid with the first verse. Now in the verse, nothing Islamic. So if you are purposefully, and I'm going to get to the exact surahs and scholars on this, but listen to the song, the verse. Word to my dog, my G's. I need another one. All of my cars got speed, just like I'm on the run. Dog, word to my dog is slang already. Gang slang. Who call each other dogs? Damus. Which again, I always question because dogs lick themselves. That's why I don't like when women call each other bitches, because dogs lick themselves. And when you continuously calling yourself a bitch, a bad bitch, you lick yourself, and you calling your girlfriend a bad bitch, y'all licking yourselves, which is why the rainbow subconsciously is in your mind and you don't care about the after effects of that lifestyle. You understand? Everything is purposeful. So when you allow yourself to call each other dogs and bitches, means y'all lick each other and come on. Look yourselves too. You dig? It got to be cognizant of what you're saying. So, word to my dog, my G's, I need another one. All of my cars got speed, just like I'm on the run. Who are you running from? If you are using that terminology right there, a dog, a blood, a damu, on the run, what act have you committed? See, because you're not already in that bar already, you're not thinking of praising Allah. You're not. You're not pleasing Allah. You're already in a shaitan mind frame. All right? Mouthful of gold teeth. Feel like the golden one. I get the cash. You let the motor run. All black wagon with the white seats. Iced out. Yeah, bitch. I might be. Nah, I don't give a F if you don't like me. See the lack of humility? I don't give a F. Iced out, highly materialism, right? You dig? I'm going to get the cash. You let the motor run. Right there, you sticking something up. All right? Keep a few shooters. Call them Spike Lee. Keep a few cougars on the lockdown. Keep a few Rugers on me. Yeah, bitch. I'm hot now. 100K way before the plane even touched down. Glad to say I did it first. Swizz, what up now? Do you understand what was all that? Shooters, cougars, keep a few. Right? What's good? So who are the shooters for? Because you're all in this lifestyle of materialism, gang life, right? Cougars, shooters, sticking up. But you're saying assalamu alaikum. Huh? Walaikum assalam. Loud. With an infectious beat. Hypnotizing. And you mean to tell me that someone like Salman Rushdie, for printed word in a book, is on a run for his entire life? But these dudes is allowed to put this on wax globally while they already have struggles as little Muslim children in the United States. There's already a hardship. There's already a lack of respect. What's good? Next verse. Habibi, Habiti, that strap in my CK, young leader with leeway like OJ on the freeway, speeding down the third lane, lamb, turbo, leaving like Frank Lucas, burn the fur coat, tweaking, first Muslim with the round the world flow, achieved it, immigrated, then gave the world hope. Crib on the cliff like China with the Great Wall. Got haters in Niagara that want to see the Great Fall. Where's the graciousness? Where's the humility? Where's the brotherhood? All this in here? What images are you putting in people's head? especially young Arabic children. Why would they need to know who Frank Lucas is? Why? Why? Then it goes on. Pray and stand on my ways, who I pray for pyramids in Egypt to the F1 race cars. Assalamu alaikum in the Middle East Symphony. Millie for a show. Need the cash, fly it in for me. High materialism. Now, those are the lyrics. Anyone should be alarmed. Now, I went to several of the bodegas in the community, asking them to listen to the song, to watch the visual. And the older brothers was like, yo, what is this? And looking and already taken aback because they saw the play. Like, yo, what is this? But here, anybody can say and do anything, which I knew was coded language for yo. Anywhere else, we would have got at it. Again, we've had journalists in France get rocked for a cartoon image. So how is this allowed to bubble? Who's behind it within the industry? Because they had to have a stamp in order for it to go out. What's the label stamp on it? Who's behind it and pushing it? Why would they do it? Now, in this current climate, especially when we know that the majority of the wars going on are against Muslim-based nations, faith-based nations. Yemen, Palestine, right? What's going on? Egypt. And you see it. Iran, Iraq. These nations are going through a tough time. So how dare these people claim this lineage, right? Be attached to some, nigga from Mount Vernon who uncles and aunts have Islamic names. They know what this is. And if they don't, then let me refresh them. Right? Because I'm not coming from just me reading. This is what scholars are saying. Singing and music bring hypocrisy within the heart. And this leads to deficiency in our good deeds and worship. If these harmful acts are persisted upon, then it can even lead one towards kufr and shirk, as the lyrics and songs may contain such words of kufr and shirk. So if you follow along and say these words, then you have fallen into that category. And even if you don't say these words of disbelief or associate partners with Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, the evil will slowly corrupt you and change your beliefs and mindset. So overall, it is simple. Better to completely stay away. The words. Word to my dog, my G's. I need another one. All of my cars got speed. Like I'm on a run, mouth full of gold teeth. I get the cash. You let the motor run. What are we talking about? I don't give a fuck if you don't like me. Keep a few shooters. Where we going at with this? Right? Where we going at? Lord. It is narrated that Mujahideen, may Allah have mercy on him, said, and befool them gradually those whom you can among them with your voice. In Tasfir ibn Kathir, this has been referred to singing. This is what he's doing. Hip hop record. It is singing. It is a chant. What it means is that Satan uses his voice to sing and bring entertainment as a tool to influence people to do wrong and commit sins. If you're looking at this from a child having just come from, right? Opened up Afghanistan, all of these children are in these public school systems and are learning from their environment. Where are their environments? Usually in our hoods, in our communities. So when you say, well, they're culturally appropriating, no. These kids are seeing and learning how to move in this space which is called America from us. That's why they sound like us. That's why they dress like us. They're in the community. They're merchants. They're going to our schools. So their first tongue is being taught by our children. So if you're using hip hop and you are of that ethnicity and should be of that faith, how dare you disrespect it? What are you doing? What is your purpose? You're definitely not using hip hop as a vehicle to get your community to Allah. We know hip hop is gutter. Cripple gangs going on, materialism going on. What are you doing? What are you doing? But nobody's going to see that at all. That's the bigger question. Who's behind that? I'm saying they running down on dudes still to this day. Islamic State dudes who was running through Afghanistan, they running through them. They still bagging these dudes up. Why are they not looking? What happened here? Why are you not looking at this? What's going on? Come on now. Come on now. And if you are confused about, Lord, if they confused about it not being deemed music because it's hip hop and there's some other type of cultural thing going on, hold on. Let's get it. Music, as stated in Greatest Sins, Sin 15. Playing instruments of music is a great sin. It is haram to play instruments such as the guitar, piano, tambourine, drums, etc. Listening to music is also a great sin. Music, a great sin, is reported by Haq ibn Shakwan from Imam Ali ibn Musa al-Rida. And to be engrossed in musical instruments is also one of the great sins. All the mujahideens are unanimous in their opinion that the manufacturing, selling, and purchasing of musical instruments is haram, forbidden. And any income derived from musical activity is also haram. The transactions involving these instruments are invalid. Right? It is obligatory to destroy them. What are we doing here? The Almighty Allah has prohibited that manufacturing of all such things that are exclusively used in haram ways and things that only create evil, such as the pipe, flute, chess, all types of instruments of gambling, images, and statues. The manufacturing of such articles is haram. That's what hip hop is based on, especially now. What are we doing? Why is this inserted now? Why is this being inserted now where oil prices is skyrocketing? Which means there's a lockdown coming from that area, from that part of the planet, who are making it known that as long as you are enemies to our nation, long as you are enemies to Islam, we are not selling oil to you. This is what we're doing, but now you're going to use something like hip hop, which is identified globally with Black Americans, to be inserted into the minds and used as a weapon to break down the fabric of little Muslim kids. And nobody gonna check them on that? Nobody gonna check them on that. What's good? What's good? I need to know what's happening. So when we have these things going on, people need to check that and see what it is. How you moving on that? How you moving on that? Which is why we continuously get disrespected. Because for the bag, our integrity will always be compromised. We allow anything and everything to go on under our watch. So when you have these individuals moving around, and again, if you don't think that us as an economy, us as a culture, our energy, our essence is the only thing that's keeping this planet liquid, then you're wrong. Nothing is selling but hip hop. Every other aspect of this economy is drowning. Basic shit, food, material, meat, chicken. People saying, I don't, too much, I'm gonna deal with that. No, I don't need that. No, what? No, I'll stop eating red meat. No, I won't need that pork. Oh, what? No, chicken. What? These are grapes? No, that's too much. But hip hop, they're gonna go get it. They're gonna invest in it, they're gonna go see it. So why would y'all allow yourselves to be used as enemies to people who are already at war struggling? Come on now. That is what's the problem. You have power and don't know how to utilize it. So there's the Swiss beads, the French Montanas, the skinnies, the fat ass Khalid, portly Palestinian. Somebody needs to check them right in their pocket, right where they stand, and ask them, what is the purpose of these records? What is the purpose of that imagery? Because as we see, some have got corrected, severely corrected for much less. You dig? So again, don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. Believe in my belief in you. And never give anything or anyone power or authority over you. We struggling. And we embrace the struggle. We are leaders, liberators, and soldiers. Again, peace to the chat. I love the chat. I come back later on. I got some other stuff. I had to get that off real quick, early, before things get out of hand with me scheduling wise. You dig what I'm saying? So salute to everybody. Much love. Peace.